Feeling lost in the maze of CPS? Desperate to get your child back? You're not alone. Countless parents face the heart-wrenching reality of family separation. The legal system can be overwhelming, but there's hope.
Now, here's the key. Okay, that's how you win a 6-month hearing.
Thank you.
If you do all of those things, you're going to blow your social worker's mind, you're going to blow your attorney's mind, and you're going to blow away the judge.
With attorney Vincent W. Davis, a dedicated legal expert with 39 years of experience, committed to helping families like yours. Join his weekly live Q&A on Zoom, where you can ask your burning questions about CPS cases. Get the knowledge and strategies you need to fight for your child's return.
Alrighty, good evening everyone. This is a question and answer session.
Are you ready to take control of your family's future? Participate as a one-time guest. Don't let fear hold you back. Take the first step towards reuniting your family. Join us now.
Good evening and welcome. Welcome to Join Me in Fighting CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm Bob Pace, your host. And I know a lot of you are tangled up with the CPS system. That's what I call CPS. It's a system of government entities in every county, in every state, in every country. It's worldwide. And it's a big problem to a lot of people. I've talked to over 900 people that have something in common, including myself. I too was a victim of CPS, the Child Protection System. It's supposed to be a government entity. It's supposed to investigate allegations of child abuse or neglect as mandated by Congress to protect our children. And they empowered the social service to create the CPS system, a group of social workers that's supposed to investigate child abuse or neglect. And if it's confirmed, then they pose to intervene by providing services to the family, not take apart the family or shoot them down. And it's all through what's called a safety plan. Also, there's in-home monitoring, supervision. And if the safety plan is not feasible or an emergency, remove the child from the custody of the parent or legal guardian. That's the last resort. They have to remove the child. Now, you'll find there's a lot of different names in different counties for their CPS system. Some are child-centered, such as Department of Children and Family Services, or sometimes the Department of Social Services. Anyway, all these different names, it all boils down to one. It's supposed to protect our children, and they have people that call in laymen or professionals. Now, I know that child abuse has been going on since the 1600s in the United States. There are lots of cases, and in the past, there's been charity groups and other kinds of people that have tried to help. They even talk about the charity groups in in the Kingdom of England. Now, in 1825, states enacted laws that give social welfare agencies the right to remove neglected children from their parents and from the streets. And these children were placed in houses, in orphanages, and other families. One of the first societies, humane societies, was the National Federal Child Regulations in 1835. Now, in 1853, the Children's Agency Society was founded to respond to the problem of orphaned or abandoned children living in the city of New York. In 1874, the first case of child abuse was criminally prosecuted in what has come to be known as the case of Mary Ellen. In 1909, President Theodore Roosevelt convened the White House Conference on Child Dependency, which created a public funding volunteer organization to establish and publish child care. By 1926, 16 states have some version of county child welfare boards, whose purpose was to coordinate public and private child-related work. Issues of abuse and neglect were addressed in the Social Security Act of 1930, which provided funding for intervening for neglected children. In 1912, the Federal Child Bureau was established. In 1958, amendments to Social Security were mandated that fund the children. In 1962, professional and media internal media interest in child maltreatment was sparked by the publication of C.A. Carnage, the Battered Children Syndrome. By the mid-60s, there was a lot of concern, and 49 states passed child abuse reporting laws. In 1974, these efforts were the states accumulating in the passage of the Federal Child Abuse Act. Also, CAPTA, which mandated all states establish procedures in investigating suspicious incidents of child maltreatment. In the 1940s and 50s, they had a mandatory diagnostic radiology. The medical profession became to take notice of what they believed to be intentional injuries, the so-called shaken baby syndrome. Parents would shake their babies and the heads would rattle and the brains inside. In 1973, Congress took the first steps towards federal legislation addressing the abuse of minorities. That was passed in 1974. Shortly thereafter, in 1978, the Indian Child Welfare Act was passed in response to attempts to destroy the American Indians by taking a large number of Native American children and separate them from their tribes and place them in foster care. It was bad. So it's been going on. Then in 1992, we had the Child Abuse, Domestic Violence Adoption and Family Service Act. Then in 1994, we had multi-ethnic placement. And then we had 1997, we had the adoption of the Late Families Act. So this has been going on for time and time and time and time. We got to present day. So you're really a mess with social services. You know, it's important that we have social services. It's important we have Social Security. But there's got to be a lot of changes. And I should know firsthand from experience because I, too, was caught up with CPS. My family was ripped apart, and they still hurt today being ripped apart. But I'm in here to help you all. I want to share what I experienced and hope you all. I had a very rough day today. Things did not go right with my own family. And part of my family, I had raised 6 children. 3 are grown up. Then I have 3 younger ones. Only problem is I only have 2 of the 3 younger ones. The other one decided to emancipate from her parents at the urging of a social worker. That's how corrupt they were. And I want to say hi, Akima. Welcome to my podcast. It's not been a good day for me. Not been a good day. Sometimes we all have bad days, and I come here to see my family. But it was a struggle today. Social service is really a struggle. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are. They don't seem to equate equally to everybody. They make you go through papers, and they lose things, and they repeat things, and you feel like you're in a nightmare. Now, Francisco, I think you're new. The people never care unless it's their own children. I've proven the corruption, had the evidence and lined up. The judge presented a different case at the appeal hearing, I just found out. Oh, I'm so sorry. Where are you from, Francisco? I need to put up, if you guys could follow and put, when you text me a message, let me see here. Did this sometimes they rearrange this here. It's the wrong one. Okay, I want that one there. Yeah, when type in a message, either a question or a comment, please state your first name and where you're from. And it's your city or county and your state. Now, if you're from another country, please also show that country or the province, things like that. I have over 21 countries, from Indonesia to Bangladesh to India to Saudi Arabia to Liberia, then over to Africa. I have Libya, and then I have Sudan, Rwanda, Mozambique, and 4 provinces in South Africa. Then up to Europe, I have England, Scotland, Wales, Denmark, and Sweden. Across the pond, I have North America, I have Canada and 4 provinces, and all 50 states, including the District of Columbia, which is not a state. Then I have Mexico down south of the border, and then I have Grenada in South America. Then across Pacific, I have New Zealand, and then I have 2 states in Australia. So that's a lot of places that have been representative, been talking on my show. Thank you, Akima. I know that. My day was about family. I think my family, after 31 years, may be breaking up. I don't know. It is hard. Now, Akima Richardson is from Brooklyn, New York. She has her own podcast on Wednesdays. And she has a sidebar. Bob, I'll be having my own show starting Monday, February 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, great. Glad that you are. More people to help talk and help other people. That's great, KK. And then we have Francisco again. Messina County. Well, then you're in California. And welcome, Messina County. That's great. Do you have a case or you have other questions you can ask me? That'd be great. I'd love to help you. I'm in here to help you all. I have some regular people that come in here. A family of about 25 or 30 people come here regularly. And they help one another, they help me. And there's lots of ways. Besides text and messages, you can send me emojis, thumbs up, hearts, smiley faces, or you can send me stars. And also check if you want to follow me, or also check if you want to be notified. But I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. I've been on this podcast now for 16 months, a little over a year. Started in October of 2023. And I met a lot of great people, and I know a lot of you have used what I said and come back and told me it works. I have 5 rules that will help you with your case. Now, besides how the text message stuff, you want to be on the podcast as a guest, please contact my show producer, Grace. And her email is grace@vincentwdavis.com. There are 14 shows. I'm typically on at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time and 7 p.m. in the night Pacific Standard Time. That's on the west coast of California. And I'm broadcasting live from Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the ocean. She'll give you the link how to get on, and I'd love to have you as a guest. Now I put my phone number up. I can take calls at 626-698-0990. I can take calls. Yeah, Faye worries me. She had a double pneumonia over the New Year's. And I've called her, but she's so discouraged. She's a beautiful lady in Richmond, Kentucky. And she's not doing too well, Akima. She's not doing too well. And I haven't heard from Betty Jo. She said this weekend she was busy, but today is Tuesday. I've not heard from Betty Jo from Montana. I've not heard Betty Jo from Montana. Now, Francisco says, what can I do to get my case out of my county and view the judge in the appeal panel also in the region? Well, here's your problem. I don't know about your case. You need to tell me what your case is about. You're in Mendocino County. It's hard for another county to intercede. If the incident happened in that county, that's where your case has to be heard. That's where it has to be heard. Now, if they've terminated your rights, your parental rights, your TPR, or they've done something else, you can file an appeal. But again, that appeal's in that Mendocino County. You can switch judges, you can switch attorneys, you can get different social workers, but you can't go to another jurisdiction. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Akima. Parents first. I know. It's hard to raise a family. It's hard with children, especially when children are teenagers or young adults. It's a lot different than when I grew up with my mom and dad. Times are a lot different now. It's really high technology. And it's all about money. It's all about money. Now, Bob, Akima says, Bob, I heard Mr. Davis says that you can possibly put in an order to change venue or a motion to change venue. You're not too sure. I guess you could. It depends. If you relocated yourself or your children have relocated, maybe so. But that's something that attorney would have to answer on that question. I'm not an attorney. For most of you know that I'm not an attorney, but I'm a loving father and a husband. I have 41 years of marriage. I've helped raise 6 children, and I love my children. I love my family. I love to take care of them. But somehow, me being involved in CPS, I feel like I've failed. Being in CPS makes you feel defeated and failure. I've tried to recuperate and tried to get out, but it seems like I've gotten myself deeper and deeper. Yes, I got my 2 boys back, but I lost my daughter. She decided to emancipate from her parents. Now, the other number I have on the screen, the 888-888-6582, is my number for the office. And you can call in there. And if you want to hire Mr. Davis, you can retain him right then and there. I have several ways that you can talk to Mr. Davis for free. I have lots of ways you can do that. Does anyone have any questions tonight? I know you asked about changing venues. The gentleman, Francisco in Macedo County, wants to know if he can change venues. Akima thinks you might be able to. And Akima is an attorney. But I know from experience, they don't like you to move around to different venues. In all my years, it could be if the children is moved with the foster parents in another state, maybe you could change the venue there. Thank you. I enjoy hearing that encouragement. Thank you, Akima. I am a loving father, and it's hard because I'm old. I'm like a 75-year-old dinosaur. I've been trying to get a job back in my field, which has been virtually impossible because no one wants someone with a background of CPS. My credit's been ruined. I've been trying to reestablish my credit. I agree. Social service does, It is hard. It is hard. It is really, really hard. Social service is not fair. They lose records, and they make things difficult for people to get aid. They get Medi-Cal, which is in California. They give a medical, and then CalFish, the food. They make it so hard. They lose records, and they cut you off so quick. They cut you off so quick when they screw up. Now, if you're on my show as a guest, or you call in on that phone number I have up there, that qualifies you for 15 minutes of a private consultation with Mr. Davis. So a Zoom meeting. All you need to do is be on that guest and talk, or be on my phone and talk. And I'll tell you how you can get 15 minutes free time with Mr. Davis. Now, if you like longer time, I've made a special arrangement with Mr. Davis that you can talk to him for 30 minutes for $60. You go to the website that is ticking across the bottom of my screen, and you go to that website, use your credit card, pay the $6, you get 30 minutes. So those are several ways. He also has a podcast on Saturday at 10 o'clock. It's questions and answers. During the week, he has another podcast, Office Hours. It fluctuates with the date and time. But he always tries to help. He tries to give you back. Now, I have 5 rules that I've talked to till I'm blue in the face. But if you follow them, you will save your children and get back your children. Rule 1, and that's the hardest one for most people because it involves money. You need to get a professional attorney that's versed in this matter. Somebody that is trained in juvenile law, family law, dependency law, who can help you. And who has also fought CPS. Vincent Davis meets that criteria. You should try to get 3 quotes from 3 different attorneys. You should start off with questions. There should be 2 specific questions. First question is, are you trained and licensed in the area of juvenile law, family law, and dependency law, and have fought CPS and gotten children back? The answer is yes. You ask the second question. When the case is closed, have you ever sued in a civil lawsuit against CPS in either state court or federal court and won money back? The answer is yes. Then you found a candidate you can talk to. You need to make sure that they give you 3 references. You need to check out the references. You need to talk about the retainer, how much they want, 10,000, 20, 30, 40, 50. For retainer. It all depends on the complexity of the case and how long the case has been going on. But you need that professional, because you try to use the court-appointed attorney, you'll get nowhere. They won't do their job. They'll lay down on their job. they have a caseload of 30 more people. So you really need that attorney. The court-appointed attorney or the public defender are only trained in criminal. They have a 30-person caseload, so they won't have time for your case. Now, my rule number 2 is documents. You should document everything. Get yourself a notebook, 3 inches thick, a 3-ring binder, and a hole puncher, and subject dividers. And one of the documents you want to create is called the log of incidents. It's a time log incident. It's where you track all the incidents that have happened either from a CPS or from the police or from the school or wherever. You use 3 lines on each incident. The first line is devoted to the date, the time, the location, and the people involved. The second line is a summary of what the incident's about, and the third line is the outcome of the incident. If you don't know the answer, you can come back later and fill it out. But you repeat that, skip a line and do another incident, and you arrange it so that the earliest time is first and the later times are last. But that document and that notebook will help you. Now, rule number 3 is that you do not open your door to social workers, to police. You don't know what's going to happen. There's no law that says you have to open the door. It's your castle. Now, if they have to come in the house, they need a warrant. If they have to talk to you, they need a warrant. If they have to take your child, they need a warrant. So don't give them the opportunity. If you haven't run to them on the outside, say no problem. You'll meet with them, but you need to have your attorney present. So you need some time, and you get back to them. Just make sure you get all the necessary information. If I know some of these things now, I would never have lost my children. I would never have gone through as a disaster as I did. It was really tough. Now, there's a thing called medical trafficking, which is where you take your child to urgent care or the emergency room, and then social workers are there, and they suddenly take your child. You don't have to give up your child. They have to have a warrant. Also, don't talk to them. They're going to try to take your child. See, CPS wants money, and the only way they get money is have children. They'll get, in Orange County, they'll get $20,000 per child per month. So I had 3 of my children. They were getting $60,000 a month. It's a $1 trillion business. That's all their interest on is trillions of dollars. I agree, Akeem, about psychological warfare. I do agree. You know about the use of psychological warfare on parents and expect us to remain same in insanity. Truly unfair. And then as parents, when we do not know what our rights are, we're entitled to, and we enforce them. They're restricted, resistant visit communication access. I agree. It's a miserable experience. Because families are made to fail, which is sad. They're supposed to help, and they don't help. They didn't help me in my case. I know. Yeah, I will talk to you later, Akima. You know, I'm trying to keep my mind straight and focus on the show. Chew Baby. You're from Virginia. I remember you. And we have somebody from Virginia. And I'm good to see you too. Thank you for stopping by. Do you have anything for me to help you with? Then Akima says, and Bob, just remember, the only time they don't need a warrant is when there is extenuating circumstances or immediate risk. Yes, I know that. There are 3 ways. It's 1, you give them permission. 2, the child's in danger. There's physical harm happening. Or 3, there's a warrant. Those are only 3 ways. Those are only three ways. Thank you, Akima. Thank you. Now, another thing in medical trafficking is when you go to have a baby, they want to take your baby. Don't let them. They'll try to come into your birthing room. Don't let them. Now, rule number 4 is you need to go to the internet and research as best as you can. You need to go to the internet and research as best as you can. So when you research, you need to put your phrases in the right composure. You should start off with the city, followed by the state, then followed by the letter CPS. You're going to see a lot of stuff pop up. To further refine it, put what you're looking for in CPS. You want to know about the 388 motion. You want to know what the 160 hearing. You want to know what the ICWA is, the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978. So you put that in there and you'll see it. And you spend 60, 80 hours on the internet. You'll learn so much. It's all there, all your answers, all your concerns. And lastly, you need to make copies of all your documents. Your driver's license, your marriage certificates, your birth certificates of your children, their shot records, their grade reports, every important document, and you put it all together in a folder of your children and yourself and your spouse and everything. Because they'll come up and they'll ask. So make an important copy and put them all in the envelope. So ready, able there. Okay. Does anyone have any other questions I have that I can help you with? Yeah, that's a good point, Akima. For a lot of parents that do not know, although history and prior cases should not play a part, they always seem to do. You have to understand, CPS is interested in making trillions of dollars of money. It's all money. And that's not all CPS, but it's over 900 people I've talked to, and myself. It's all about money. It's all about money. Now, I have a good 20 minutes left of the podcast. And so I'd love for someone to call in and talk. And if you don't want to call and talk, ask me and I will try to help you. Because Chew Baby or Akima, you must have something for me. Francisco, who's new from Mendocino County. I really want to help you. I really want to help you. I don't know if Margaret was in here. Margaret was in this morning, and she was so discouraged. A lot of you are going through ups and downs. You know, Crystal Salazar, I haven't heard from you in a long time. Faye Manley, I miss you. And she's from Richmond, Kentucky. Darlene, who used to be my co-host from Georgia, how you doing? I haven't heard from you. Tessa from Northern California. Betty Joe from Montana. JD from LA. There's so many of you I'm thinking of tonight. I just don't see you. Anyway, it is a hard thing to face with. Now, my case was silly. It started off, I was unaware about CPS when it started off. I started getting phone calls from somebody called the Child Protection Services in Orange County, California. And they said, we have a report that you're doing this or this or that. So who from? They wouldn't tell you. See, people that call in, they're not allowed to disclose their name. I think they should, because if they did falsify it, because in my case, I had my wife's parents, her mother, her father, her three sisters, and her brother were calling in every week for 5 years, making a complaint that we're doing something wrong with our children, which wasn't true. I diffused it for 5 years, and then finally they got so many more calls, they decided to call the police. The police hunted me down, a detective did, ordered me to come to my home and open it up. Now, I didn't think I had to, but I never argued with police. I always thought they'd be honest and helpful. I thought everybody's there to be your friend, but they weren't. It was a terrible, terrible experience. My little son there, I'll never forget that. He was looking at me, he said, Daddy, why are these people here? What's going on? And when I came to my home, there was lots of people there because they're trying to find something they could find me with. I don't know what their vendetta or what their feeling were or anything. They had 5 firemen, 2 code enforcement, 2 uniformed policemen, 3 social workers, and the detective trying to find out something wrong. And all they found was neglect because I had my parents' belongings in my home because I was sorting through them and sending it off to relatives and friends because my dad had died. My mom was slowly dying. They want me to give the belongings. I had no money for going to a storage place to sort it or anything else. So it was a horrible thing because, you go through the courts. I mean, they didn't offer a settlement conference. I did able to put my kids first with my wife's sister and husband, but they could only handle my kids for a month or two because they had to drive them to school. They had to do all what we did. They finally found out how much work it is to take care of 3 kids, to feed them, to house them, and everything else. Okay, we got about 14 minutes left. Again, my number is 626-698-0990. I'll take any calls there. And Chew Baby from Virginia, did you have anything else you wanted to say? You can't trust social workers. They're not honest. They're not transparent. Fighting CPS is like open heart surgery. You got to have a professional fight on your behalf. Hello, who am I have the pleasure of talking to? Who do I have the pleasure of talking to?
This is KK from Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, hi KK. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm a little concerned about you with everything,
Yeah, it piles up. You go on this podcast and you talk about and you hear about all these terrible stories here. And the hardest thing about life is when you don't have positive reinforcement, meaning, family has always been so important to me. And I'm getting so close to, I feel like I've taken 2 steps back. I mean, I take 1 step forward and 5 steps back. It's really hard.
But this is, I've been following you since the very beginning. And you have no idea how much motivation and consistency and drive you have given me as a mom, knowing, I'm a good parent. You are a good parent, Bob.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Hold on one second. Hello, who's calling me? Hello? Who did I have the pleasure of talking to? Hello?
Hello,
Yeah, hello, who's this?
Mike.
Yeah, hi, Mike. I'm on another call right now. Can you call me back or I can call you back? All right, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, KK. That was Mike. He wanted to talk too. Okay. Okay, KK, I'm back. That was Mike that wanted to talk too.
Okay. I just wanted to give you some words of encouragement. Like, you have helped me, stay motivated and stay, focused on task. I've been following you from the very beginning.
I know you.
And, there are other platforms that Mr. Davis, has, other people. But, Bob, you are the most consistent and the most reliable. If I can't see anybody on any platform, I know Mr. Pace is on twice a day, every day.
Yeah.
So give yourself some credit, and don't think as it's a step back or a step forward and 2 steps back. Listen, this is a game of chess, and you have to play, strategically. And that at the end of the day, you're not doing any of this for nothing. Everything is for a purpose. So if nobody tells you, I want to let you know that you are appreciated, and I am thankful.
Well, thank you for those nice, kind words. I appreciate that.
Thank you for allowing me to speak, to let you know you are appreciated.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Emotional, so I'm going to let Mike call back.
No, I don't know if Mike, I'd rather, I don't know if Mike, he isn't on the show right now. I don't know if Mike is on the show here because I don't see his name.
I just wanted to let you know, you're great. Like, you rock, Bob, for real.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Just keep your head up and just keep doing what you're doing, because as long as you keep helping, there's another person that'll help, and you have to pass the message along. And it all starts with just one person.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I'm like at a loss for words, because I'm just like, I've never seen you like this. I'm hurting with you.
Yeah, I understand.
I just want to let you know, guys, Mr. Davis is amazing, and all the platforms that, he has, including yours, Bob, and mine, everybody can pass the message. We have to help one another as parents and realize when we continue to fight, there's nothing that can hold us back from innocence.
Right.
It is working.
Right. I concur with what you're saying.
got me tearing up over here.
Yeah, I know.
I'm for the first time.
Yeah.
Just like whatever, you know, is an obstacle right now for you, Bob, just know, as long as you stand firm and keep yourself planted and consistent, you know, he'll make a way for you. Everything is going to happen at time, and nothing is not going to be rushed that is not meant.
Yeah, I concur with you on that. Hold on one second here.
But just to let you know, I will be having my own solo show. I won't be with Deidre on Wednesdays. I'll now be hopefully on Mondays. So.
Yeah, that sounds really, really great.
Are you paying attention or are you making phone calls?
No, what I'm doing right now, I'm making notes.
I got it.
And so when I talk to people, I write little notes to keep track of everything. And
you taught me about this, so I got my binder idea from you.
Yeah. I find that having that notebook is really handy because it's all contained. You got to be disciplined to do the binder. That's one of the biggest problems.
Right. One of my issues too. I got to stand on top of all the info day by day. But as you know, Bob, this is a waiting game. Every minute, every moment, every hour determines, you know, strength or weakness, and it is what you make it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you strong and be the person that I've seen for the last 16 months from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give yourself some credit to be motivated just this long. Because speaking from experience as a person with, you know, a substance abuse history, a mental health history, I'm transparent. And you have given me the courage to actually own my truth and try to identify my faults. That way I can be the best parent I can be for my children. So give yourself credit. You know, you seem to be a great dad, and you are advocating, you know, your heart out.
Yeah, I just, you know, it's really hard because I don't know how, like your case, where are you at on your case right now? What's the latest on your case?
We go back in March for the decision on the fact finding. The trial is just concluded, and the decision will be rendered in March.
And what do you think the outcome's going to be?
I really don't think there's a finding. I really don't think there's any finding, honestly. They're just using the fact that sometimes I am aggressive, and they confuse the passion for aggression based on my combative history. I'm not that person. Mm-hmm. But based on me being diagnosed as bipolar, they feel that most of the time I may be manic and make erratic decisions under impulse control. And what they fail to realize is the fact that I'm still out here in the free world, based on my history, I think I'm doing very well learning how to restrict myself from physical aggression, more so as speaking my feelings into the universe. That way I don't act on them. That is one of my coping skills that I have worked out. So it's not about trying to overpower them. It's trying to basically strategize. I said it's chess. You got to beat them at their own game.
Okay.
You got to remember the most valuable piece on the board is the king, but the queen protects them at all costs. So as long as you know you have somebody positive in your corner, just one person makes a difference, like I said.
I agree. And look what Chew Baby has written since you and I have been talking. Chew Baby said you gave me a lot of solid advice, and you gave me a lot of hope. You helped me through my case, and you're amazing. We love that you are diligently and so passionate for this. Beautiful words. please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. We're here for you as you have been for us. And then, then she says, you deserve the utmost respect and very high regard, Bob. Do not ever sell yourself short for you to make this platform for others and to help others in an emotional job in itself. I agree. And Happy Feet, I haven't heard you in a long time. Hi, Happy Feet.
A long time.
Yeah, it's Happy Feet from Arizona. I'm so happy to hear from you, Happy Feet. Okay, it's so amazing. There's over 900 people I've talked to. 900 people. That's a lot of people.
You have a powerful voice.
Yeah. Well, that is good. That is good. So, with you on your case, what is your outcome you want? What is it you want, Akima?
Well, my outcome I would like to have, based on, for some reason I am not sure, but I was told by the children's attorney and the social worker that my children didn't want to have anything to do with me. They didn't want to even hear my name ever again. So based on them suspending the visit since May 6th of last year, they could terminate the rights on just pure meeting the criteria for the federal ACTA guidelines, and then also based on the separation, they're trying to establish there is no relationship.
I see.
So I am at the point where I'm honestly at a crossroads to where I don't want to give up the fight. I would never stop fighting. But in my defense, to justify that, it would be, why would I bring my children back and then repeat the cycle again based on them not wanting to be here and not respecting the rules of the house, or acting out based on my children also being diagnosed with mental health illness.
Yeah.
And I want to put them in a place where they are removed from the comfortability that they've been in, but also to let them know that I'm not just going to take this lying down.
Right. Happy Feet, what's the latest? I'm asking Happy Feet, who's coming to the room. I was going to ask Happy Feet, can you give us an update on your case, Happy Feet?
You want Happy Feet to call in? You want me to?
No. She's not. I mean, Happy Feet's never called in, but I'm just talking to you and the room. You're my guest right now on the phone. And I just know, Choo Baby, I've asked for her the updates and so forth. And Happy Feet, I like to have an update there too. Well, she says she's missed my show so much. We have been going through a awful time. DCS is making for our rights to be terminated. One of our daughters is now in a mental health facility. I'm so sorry. This idea that, do you notice that CPS always wants to say there's something mentally wrong with children or mentally wrong with parents? What do you think about that? KK?
Speaking from experience, my children are both diagnosed with ADHD and, maybe one or two other things. So, as they were kind of genetically predisposed, they had these, psychological issues prior to the removal. But I feel like based on the separation or, the custodial interference that CPS or the foster parent has, implemented within this time, I think it made the stressors or the triggers that, caused the symptoms of the decline in these illnesses. I really has to do with these people being happy with the separation.
Right.
Not just only about money that it brings, but just to separate families to say they accomplished something that should never be done.
Right, right.
I could never understand how a person could go home at night after they've destroyed a family for no reason.
I know.
Some of these families, they do maybe, need somebody to step in and try to pull back whatever is going on that is not safe or healthy. But as opposed to my situation, because I filed a formal sexual harassment complaint against the children's school, they did this in retaliation based on having a personal relationship with one of the employees on the outside.
Yep.
I mean, how cool is that? Like, what type of hat are you wearing? Are you in mixed feelings with the friendship?
Yeah.
So this is like a retaliation thing. And based on me, yes, I did, Bob. I did threaten to physically harm one of the faculty there. But this is also one because she misunderstood a statement I made that caused mobile crisis to come here, which made me look unfit. And then two, making that statement or that alleged threat to the person, it made it seem like, again, I'm destabilizing or I'm having a disassociation with reality based on me being diagnosed. These social workers always think they're Christians at the end of the day.
Right.
And half of them are not even licensed to be social workers. So,
Right.
So I'm just like, as a newly appointed attorney, I am still a mom at the end of the day. I'm a mom first and foremost by any title. So, it's not about what your title is. It's not about how much money you have. It's not about where you live. It's not about who you know. It is about proving that you are a fit parent to people that go home to their children every night and probably do worse things than we are getting ranked by for.
Right.
So
right.
It's a cycle of dysfunction. That's all.
Yep. Hold on one second, KK. Hold on. Good evening. Who do I have the pleasure I'm talking to?
Hi, Bob. It's you, baby.
Oh, hi, Chew Baby. Let me go ahead and end my call with KK, all right? Hold on one second. Hold on. KK?
Yes.
I'm going to end the call because Chew Baby wants to talk. Is that okay?
All right. Cool. No problem.
All right. Thank you.
Bob.
Bye.
Be motivated.
Yep. Hi, Chew Baby. What can I do for you?
So I wanted to call in and just tell you that you are so loved and you help me so much.
Well, I'm glad.
And I appreciate everything and all your advice that you have done for me.
Well, that is such a nice thing for you to say to end my show because tonight it's now 8 o'clock and my show goes to 8. But I'm so glad you called in. What's the latest on your situation in Virginia?
So, in my case in Virginia, I won it the judge actually dismissed our case.
Oh, God bless. Yes.
We hired a private lawyer, and I had just wanted to say real quick, I know that, court-appointed attorneys aren't like private lawyers, but because we hired a private lawyer, we were able to get our CPS case and our custody case really examined. So they were really focused on, facts and findings.
Good.
And and we had a forensic interviewer come in on the CPS allegation.
Okay.
And they were unfounded and unwarranted.
Okay.
So it was a really good process. I mean, it was stressful and everything, but it was a really good process. But if people are able to hire a private lawyer, I hope that they do. And if they get a court-appointed lawyer, I hope that they do the research because you can switch court-appointed lawyers. Because you want a lawyer that is going to advocate for you, and you want a good guardian ad litem that is going to advocate for the child. So our court case was kind of cut and dry because it was just, toxic family. But at the end of the day, I hope everybody that has lawyers out there, that has guardian ad litem, that has CPS, be open and honest. These is, just, follow your steps of guidance.
Right.
Don't let them into your home without a warrant. Don't let anybody around your kids.
Right.
And just speak with them.
Right. Right. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Chew Baby. And I'm going to end the podcast on a positive note because you've really, the words you said and everything. I want to thank Happy Feet from Arizona for all the kind words you said and everything. I want to thank A.K. Richardson, Akima, for calling in. That was so nice of you to call in and everything. Mike, who called in, I hope you get back to me tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, Mike. I don't know what Mike that is, but it was nice that he called in. And then there was one other person. Yeah, Francisco D. You're new from Montecito County. I hope you call back in again. I like to help you. God bless you all. Now, don't forget.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure, can. Chew Baby.
Don't ever stop being you.
Okay.
Never stop advocating for us. Always be great the way you are because we love you, we watch you, and we absolutely are here for you.
Okay. Thank you, Chew Baby. Very kind words. I want to say God bless to all you. Do not give up fighting for your kids. I'll be on here again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I messed up the first time, and I don't know how many shows this morning. I started at 9 instead of 10, but I'll make sure I'm at the right time tomorrow. So I will be on at 10 o'clock. So I want you all to have a good night. And again, God bless you all. And there'll be a brief message from Vincent Davis, my attorney, right after I hang up. This is Bob Pace signing off.
Feeling lost in the maze of CPS? Desperate to get your child back? You're not alone. Countless parents face the heart-wrenching reality of family separation. The legal system can be overwhelming, but there's hope.
Now, here's the key. Faye, that's how you win a 6-month hearing.
Thank you.
If you do all of those things, you're going to blow your social worker's mind, you're going to blow your attorney's mind, and you're going to blow away the judge.
With attorney Vincent W. Davis, a dedicated legal expert with 39 years of experience, committed to helping families like yours. Join his weekly live Q&A on Zoom, where you can ask your burning questions about CPS cases. Get the knowledge and strategies you need to fight for your child's return.
Alrighty, good evening everyone. This is a question and answer session.
Are you ready to take control of your family's future? Participate as a one-time guest. Don't let fear hold you back. Take the first step towards reuniting your family. Join us now.